from New York. It is Kevin McCullough and AFA Today, and we are inviting you to pack a box for Operation Christmas Child. The number is 877-616-2396. If you need our help packing it, we're more than willing to do that, 877-616-2396. And we are looking to supply boxes for about 500 kids today. They're $30 each. Friends, help 5 kids today. You're going to spend that much on Christmas dinner. There's not any reason why you can't do at least that minimum for the kids and make sure that they have an incredible reason to celebrate Jesus' birth this year as well. 877-616-2396, or pack the shoebox yourself at afr.net. It is super simple, easy, and fun. The graphics are awesome. You get to see what kind of car you're going to give the little guy. And being the father of a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, I know about how important those little cars are for those little guys. I'm telling you, don't mess with the cars. They're that important. That's all I'm saying. Kevin McCullough, glad you're with us. Okay, so the Weekly Standard has a piece out today that I just think is really super important for us to know about because, well, in light of what happened with us coming to an agreement earlier last month with Iran on, you know, how we're going to give them $8 billion and not ask anything of them by way of their nuclear centrifuges, except in symbolic terms only. I thought that this particular article was rather important, so I linked it at the afatoday.com website. You can go there and read it for yourself. But a Kuwaiti news outlet named Al Jazeera is reporting that President Obama is seeking to arrange a trip to Tehran of next year. The headline of the article reads, Obama would like to visit Tehran, official invitation after details resolved. Al Jazeera, this is using a translation found online. Al Jazeera has learned from a U.S. diplomat that President Barack Obama is seeking to visit Tehran in the middle of next year, according to this report. The source said that the desire to visit is shared and that Tehran and Washington are waiting for the conclusion of the arrangements prior to Iranian President Hassan Rouhani issuing an official invitation to his American counterpart to visit Tehran. He pointed out that the most important detail that is outstanding regarding this meeting is the question of a meeting with the Supreme Leader Ali Khomeini and the possibility of not holding the meeting. The source said that President Obama was waiting for the invitation to devote his new administration's policy in the region based on the principle of non-military involvement and balance. He wants to be the first U.S. president to visit Iran since the Khomeini revolution in order to show that he is an advocate of peace and dialogue, even with those who chant death to America. The original article was published in Arabic. The State Department spokeswoman did not respond to a request for confirmation of the report, but in an email, one former high-ranking U.S. national security official says they don't believe it. Last weekend, President Obama, in announcing a nuclear deal between the U.S. and other countries and Iran, said the United States, together with our other close allies and partners, took an important first step towards a comprehensive solution that addresses our concerns with the Islamic Republic of Iran's nuclear program. Obama concluded those remarks by saying, ultimately, only diplomacy can bring about a durable solution to the challenge posed by Iran's nuclear program. As President and Commander-in-Chief, I will do what is necessary to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon, but I have a profound responsibility to try to resolve our differences peacefully rather than rush towards conflict. Today we have a real opportunity to achieve a comprehensive peaceful settlement, and I believe we must test it. Okay, that's the president from where he was at so far. Here's my problem, and it's a very significant problem. And you know, this is a report that is being put out by a Kuwaiti news outlet. So whatever degree of you know, confidence you have in that, whatever. But there does seem to be a lot of specifics, like that both sides want this and so forth. And the White House is denying this straight out. On Monday, categorically denied a report that the president is planning a trip to Iran next year. Well, they already said that he's not planning a trip to Iran next year. They didn't deny that he wants to go. There's a difference there. There is no formal plan to visit Iran because there's no formal invitation to have him come. The Kuwaiti news article addressed that issue specifically and said that the desire is there, but they're waiting for the official invitation, which will happen after the conclusion of the talks about how the nuclear program stuff is going on. National Security Council spokeswoman Caitlin Hayden told The Hill in an email, there is no truth in this report. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that it's possible that the president wants to go, is planning on going, but hasn't made a formal plan to go there, which is all that the Kuwaiti news report is actually saying, and nothing that the White House denied contradicts that. And I just explained that part. But let's just say that is the case. What significance do you think it would play if the president were to visit Tehran? Here's my question. If there's even a hint of accuracy in this report from the Kuwaiti news outlet, if there's even a smidge of truth to it, I think it sends a very dangerous message to the American people, to our allies, specifically Israel, to a number of other people in the region, to our allies in Europe, etc. For this reason. One, we just gave them $8 billion. Number two, we're not requiring them to really do anything because we already gave them the $8 billion. So now they've got it. There's nothing that can be done to stop them from having it. Oh, and by the way, there's nothing that can be done from stopping them to re-energize their nuclear program like, yesterday. There's no real teeth to the accountability of the agreement that we came to, giving them the $8 billion. So is it remotely possible that the president might in fact be, in trying to make some grand gesture on the world stage, wanting to be a president that visits Tehran and finally announces that he has achieved peace in our time? Is this the new Obama Peace in Our Time initiative? I don't know. But if it is, what does it say to you? 888-589-8840. I'm very curious about that. See, because I have a little bit longer of a memory than it appears the president does, and that is, I can remember back to last week when Brooke Goldstein told us on this broadcast that Iran is the largest terrorist exporting country in the world now. They fund more terrorism. They encourage more terrorism. They call for more terrorism based on religious ideology. They are paying suicide bombers in places all over the globe to go and blow themselves up for the cause that they believe in. Now we've given them $8 billion, and, oh, by the way, they're not requiring themselves to not, to put any halt on their centrifuge enrichment program. I don't know. This seems to be a rather gutsy roll of the dice to me. Your thoughts on it, 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. But the president, according to this Kuwaiti source, which the White House is denying categorically, the president desiring to get a meeting in Tehran next year. How would you respond to that? How would you? What would the reaction be in your heart, in your mind? How should the American people respond? What do you have any concerns, or is the president on the right track? Is this a we've got to give peace a chance kind of moment here? This is problematic to me for a number of reasons, but maybe I'm missing something. What's the grand play? What's the grand gesture? 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. Now, it's important for us to understand that this Kuwaiti report, yes, it's been categorically denied by the White House, but they didn't deny the crux, the substance of the article. They just denied specifics. And that's where I think they always play this game with us that I'm getting really tired of. The Kuwaiti news outlet saying, speaking to sources, U.S. diplomats, etc., is saying this is what he desires to do. The White House responds to that saying he has no plans to do that. The Kuwaiti news outlet didn't say he had any formal plans to do that. The Kuwaiti news outlet said he desires to do that based on a confidential informant from what appears to be a U.S. diplomat that they're waiting on the official invitation to then formulate an official plan. So the White House saying, no, there's no official plan. Today is 100% accurate. It's 100% true. They're telling the honest truth. They're just denying the really obvious question, well, does he want to go? Is there a desire to go? Would he accept an invitation if he ends up getting one? That they didn't answer at all. They just said, no, there's no official formal plan in place. 888-589-8840, your thoughts on this as we take your phone calls. Let's go to Bill in Texas. Bill, welcome. You're on with Kevin McCullough. Glad you're here. Hi.
Yeah, Kevin, just got one simple comment. What is this president's idea of world peace? Because it's evidently completely different than any other president we've had.
Well, and on that note, he appears to think that he can talk people into things, but I have a really hard time understanding how he still has the power to do that because, well, first of all, we just gave a bunch of terrorists $8 billion.
That's right.
And so what's their motivation now to play nice? See, here's my problem, and I admit, and some of you will write me and be angry with me at this. There's some that write me every day. They're so angry they can't keep from writing me, and I'm so happy that they are because it's good to talk about your issues, and I'm glad that my email inbox can be a place where we can have that therapeutic working through these things. But here's the real problem, and this is a genuine problem. I believe in the depravity of man, which is a spiritual doctrine which says that men are inherently sinful from birth. Men, the genus, not the sex. That mankind is, in fact, corrupt and sinful and selfish from birth, and left to our own devices, there's nothing we can do to halt or alter that. And I think it's pretty easy to prove my point. You let any kid grow up without any correction, and they end up being the bane of society's existence. Well, imagine an entire state dedicated to the terrorist cause, and there's no restraining thought or conscience within them that says, hey, not killing your neighbors is a better way to go than killing them. Imagine giving that kind of people then $8 billion to do with whatever they see fit to do and expecting nothing in return. Honestly, having nothing in return slated to come back at them. This is my problem. This is why I don't get it. I can't sense where our foreign policy is really headed. Because when you give bad guys $8 billion, common sense says to me that bad guys end up doing bad things. Again, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. Let's talk to Al, also in Texas. Hi, Al. Welcome. You're on with Kevin McCullough.
Thank you, Kevin. Good afternoon.
Yeah, and to you.
Boy, you brought up a lot of great points. The first thought that came to my mind was, as far as assigning any guidelines for usage to how to spend that $8 billion, he would not do that because any way they spend it, if they spend it to enhance their nuclear programs, I believe this is going to play right into his hands because he gets to climb on his white charger and come to America's rescue. And the other reason that he's getting involved over there and fanning the flames by doing nothing is, I believe, to distract all of us from the debacle of Obamacare, in addition to the killing of our ambassador and troops in Benghazi, and in addition to all of the other things that are going on in our nation today that are indicative of how he wants to destroy America. I truly believe in my heart that he's setting up a smokescreen to distract us by having a world conflagration, no matter how small it may be, and God willing it will be if it comes to that. But that's the way he's going to recover his legacy as president, a meaningful president in America. I believe it's all about his ego and how he's going to recover his legacy. Because if he stays like it is, if everything remains copacetic like it is right now, till his term is over, if he lasts that long, then he is going to go down in history, and I don't think how he can avoid it, as one of the worst presidents we have ever had in our entire nation's history. But he must have something to trump that by coming to our aid, by coming to our rescue, and Iran falls right into that card. They play the perfect foil for that.
Well, and Al, thank you for your thoughts and your kind words. Here's the thing. I'm not sure that works well for his advantage, because he's talking about how he's got to overcome everything through diplomacy. And what I don't think he particularly believes about radical Islam is that they will lie to your face and stab you in the back and believe that they're doing God's work while doing it. It's Kevin McCullough. It's AFA Today on AFR Talk. Stay with us. More of your calls next.